Hello everyone, and welcome to our fourth episode of AUC Observer. I'm your host, Munira Al-Samra, and in today's episode there will be different stories about several events that are taking place on campus. Not just that, today our guest is Farida Musaid, who placed third in the AUC basketball team in the 49th National Universities Tournament. Stay tuned! For the first time in AUC, the Office of Student Life organized CoCurricular Day on the 9th of March in Bartlett Plaza to promote the importance of co-curricular life. Know more with our reporter, Huda Nahlawi.
The Office of Student Life in the American University in Cairo organized on 9th of March CoCurricular Day in Bartlett Plaza.
النهارده co-curricular day الهدف من النهارده to showcase the co-curricular life at the AUC. Most of the organizations are here propagating their activities that they do and introducing other students on the impact that the co-curricular life had in for their experience here at the AUC.
The aim of the event was to promote the importance of co-curricular life as part of AUC's liberal arts education. It was a good opportunity for all organizations to showcase the impact of the co-curricular activities on AUC students. AUC clubs and associations participated in this event, and there were many representatives from them in their booth.
احنا developers, we are basically a student activities that aims to develop the skills of the students. We help them by doing workshops, seminars, competitions, and so on, and everything that cater for your need. Today احنا حاسين ان the event is very, very important because we're going to raise awareness of the club. We're going to spread the happiness by spreading chocolates and other things like the caps and so on. So we believe it's good an opportunity to make all the AUC know what developers is.
The event started during the assembly hour. Food and beverages were served around the plaza to add nice and festive vibes around. There were several performances on stage presented by students from different clubs, such as Musicana Club and Folklore. Moreover, there was a Tannoura show where students interacted and were happy.
It was a great day, considering it's one of the few events we had since the pandemic. It was a great break from a hectic day of classes, and the show was great, and it was a lot of fun.
The co-curricular activities at AUC reflects the diverse backgrounds and interests of student body, and it is essential to develop student skills and capacities. Huda Nahlawi, AUCTV, Cairo.
The Theater and Film Club at the American University in Cairo, in cooperation with the University Student Union, held the first edition of the American University in Cairo Film Festival. Our correspondent, Aya El-Koumi, will tell us more about it.
AUC Theater and Film Club, in collaboration with AUC Student Union, held the first edition of AUC Film Festival. The event was held on 11th of March at Amphitheater AUC New Cairo in the presence of VIP guests and celebrity judges.
We had the idea after the huge success of the AUC Theater Club, and the idea was re-inspired or motivated after we've collaborated with the Cairo International Film Festival. We were driven to create a short movie film festival that's conducted by AUC so that young filmmakers from around Egypt can obtain the exposure they truly deserve.
The event started by screening the best 5 movies that were chosen by the judges and were introduced to the audience by Layla and Malik Zahir.
يلا بينا.
مش حقيقي الكلام ده، والله العظيم حقيقي الكلام ده، ما تصدقوش.
Judged based on a couple of things: storytelling, cinematography, directing, and then we had to narrow down the selection. So each one of us had to pick from their films a couple of films. We had to discuss them together to see if we all agree on these films, and then we notified the team of the ones that we picked.
At the end, the judges Tamer Habib, Andrew Mohsen and Ala Arafa took their final decision, and the winner of the 10K prize was هدية ماما فيلم.
إسلام الدسوقي عن فيلم ماما.
أنا مخرج فيلم هدية لماما. فيلم هدية لماما ده هو شاب بيعاني من متلازمة الأسبرجر، تمام؟ هو حابب ان هو يجيب هديه لمامته، فبيضطر ان هو ينزل الشارع، فالموبايل بتاعه بيضيع. اللي عندهم متلازمه الاسبرجر دول هم دايما بيعانوا ان هم ما بيقدروش يحددوا ملامح الناس. فهو ماشي معاه موبايل عليه ملامح زي فرحه وزعل وغضب والكلام ده كله، فالموبايل منه بيضيع، فبيضطر ان هو يتعامل مع الناس اللي هو مش فاهمها. الناس طبعا فاهماه مش فاهماه خالص. بس هو دي قصة الفيلم. الحمد لله يعني الفيلم كسب 3 جوائز، فدي حاجة أنا مبسوط منها جدا يعني.
الفيلم بجهود الذاتية، محدش بياخد أجور، بالعكس بيدفعوا من جيوبهم لتحقيق حلمهم. أنا بحب جدا الشباب المتحمس لشغله، ولما بتجيني أي فرصة إن أنا أبقى سبورت ليهم يعني وداعمة ليهم، يعني أنا بعمل ده.
This was Aya Al-Komi, AUCTV, Cairo.
Is it easy to start your own podcast, or do you need a lot of experience and money to create your content? More about this topic in the upcoming report with Mustafa Shahata.
Everyone has a story to tell and something to say. This is the main concept and the core of the Mass Communications Association message, which they have worked hard to bring the students of the American University in Cairo.
The aim from the top we organize is to actually bridge the gap that the students may have between the theoretical part learned in classes and actually the practical one that's needed for work. So that's our main goal, is to bridge the gap.
Yusuf Sabri, a famous content creator on social media platforms. The Mass Communication Association hosted him, and he shared his insights with the students and encouraged them to create their own podcasts.
What if you're not good at school? What if you're getting good grades? How to start a business? What if you don't have capital? So relate to what they're thinking. Exactly. Second thing is to know your shit. Like, know exactly what you're talking about. Don't talk about random things and you don't know what you're talking about. If you're gonna do a podcast about fitness, make sure you do a lot of research, because this might hurt other people. So make sure you know what you're talking about. So these 2 things, if you like focus on, relatable, know your shit, know what you're talking about, and consistency, to be consistent. Every day you're posting, every week, even if it's every week once, then you post. So consistency, being relatable, and knowing being an expert at what you're talking about. Yeah. This is super powerful, guys.
Mass Communication Association organizes many talks to help students plan for their future.
Super to be a multi-billionaire to start talking about something.
A lot of mass comm students بيبقوا داخلين الميجر عايزين نشتغل في الموضوع ده، بس مش عارفين انهي سيكتور بالظبط. فاحنا بقى لنا حبه بنعمل التوكس دي عشان كل واحد يعرف السيكتور اللي هو عايزه، بيحب ايه ما بيحبش ايه، عايز يشتغل ايه، نفسه يشتغل ايه.
Many students discussed their podcasting plans with Yusuf Sabri and the content they aim to create.
On YouTube or an influencer that teaches you what to do for your wedding.
بصراحة, I don't think I'm ready to start my podcast today because I feel like I need to research on a topic that I'm interested in and that I have enough knowledge about. I don't want to stand in front of a microphone and just talk about anything that doesn't make sense. I want to actually spread awareness and teach people something that they need and they want to know.
Let anything you want out and just talk about anything that seems interesting for you, anything that's a hot topic for you that you're passionate about in general. And I feel like podcast is like the main platform or the main source on how to be able to communicate with and engage with others in a podcast and just keep a conversation going, basically.
You have your phone and something you like? You can start your content today. In this moment. This was Mustafa Shhata, AUCTV, Cairo.
The American University in Cairo has honored the legendary Egyptian cinematographer Saeed Al-Shimi in its 5th edition of Visions Cairo Egyptian Short Film Festival. Know more about the opening of the festival with our correspondent, Myrna Abu Saud.
The American University in Cairo launches its 5th edition of the Visions Cairo Egyptian Short Film Festival, which takes place in the old campus in downtown Cairo. As it has always been the strategy for the festival to always honor a legendary filmmaker in its opening, this year the festival is paying a special tribute to the Egyptian cinematographer Saeed Al-Shimi. Therefore, a gallery was built to honor him, filled with his work and his history, as he's one of the most influential cinematographers in Egypt.
بتكريم سعيد الشيمي السنة دي يكون في نوع من التكريم لأهمية التصوير السينمائي في السينما، وبنفس الوقت أهمية الخبرة بالتصوير السينمائي وإزاي ده ممكن يساهم بتطوير الفنان وبتطوير الفن السينمائي المصري كله.
And for the first time in the festival, there is a small room inside the gallery with a projector which shows an interview of Saeed Al-Shimi talking about his history and experience in the cinema world.
مع سعيد شيمي احلى حاجه بجد ان هو الارشيف بتاعه كان جاهز. All I had to do was literally organize. فازاي نقاد للموضوع ده علشان بس ما نبقاش كسلانين ان احنا مجرد نعرض الارشيف بتاعه والموضوع يكون خلص يعني وخلاص. ان احنا we made a mini documentary interview، يعني هو دوكيو فيديو كده مع استاذ سعيد شيمي. قعدنا نتكلم في everything that has to do with the archive بحيث ان هو يبقى السماعه شغاله وكل الناس اللي بتتفرج على الارشيف بتاعها تبقى سامعه الحكايه بتاعتها وهي شغاله.
Following that, it was time for the actual opening of the festival, and hence, the audience started to come one after the other, excited to know more about the program of the festival, as for the first time since the festival's creation 5 years ago, the festival features filmmaking workshops, discussion panels, and other events celebrating Egyptian film culture. Shortly after, Saeed Al-Shimi took his award as an honor from Visions Film Festival with a great happiness from the attendees as they attended his honoring. However, following the honoring, Dr. Malik Khouri announced that the short films of the students will not be screened for the following 10 days due to circumstances outside the framework of the festival and for reasons related to legal procedures. Many people then expressed their disappointment at the news, hoping for clarification.
السنة دي أنا بيكرموني وأشكرهم طبعا إنهم كرموني وعاملين معرض صور ليا وجابوا فيلم من الأفلام القديمة اتعرض فعلا برضو، لكن في خبر زعلني إن الأفلام مش هتتعرض يعني اللي فيه عقبات إدارية يعني ظهرت فجأة يعني.
Then the event ended by playing one of the old films for Saeed Al-Shimi as the last thing to be screened at the opening. Myrna Abu Saud, AUC TV.
Moon River is an art exhibition that is taking place in AUC Mass Communication Art Gallery. Know more with our reporter, Megan Munir.
The Photographic Gallery in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication at AUC hosted the exhibition of The Eternal River. The photographic event comes as part of the gallery's environmental photography program for the Spring22 semester. The 30-picture exhibition sheds the light on the importance of the Nile River to the Egyptians and the current water dilemma between Egypt and Ethiopia. The Egyptians have relied on the waters of the Nile since the dawn of history, not only for work and farming, but also for their celebrations. The Nile reflects everything about Egypt and the Egyptian people. This is not only exclusive to the Egyptians, the African people also share the same feelings for the Nile. The heavenly river represents life and symbolizes happiness to Africa.
The Photographic Gallery is part of the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. So we curate exhibitions related to the news and the current topics. So this exhibition raises awareness about the current water dispute between Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudan.
The biggest two civilizations ever in Africa was in Egypt and Ethiopia, and both were built because of the Nile.
The purpose of the exhibition is to show the participation of arts and culture and the visual aspect in raising awareness about a crucial issue that we're facing nowadays and we've been facing for the last 10 years, and to support the negotiations that are going on by highlighting the importance of the water of the Nile in the everyday aspect of Egyptians.
However, the history of the Nile with the pharaohs is clashing with the present, as Egypt is facing a possible water crisis that has never occurred throughout its history, due to the Ethiopian stubbornness that believes that the Nile belongs only to them. While many things are not certain in the future, it is definite that Egypt will never abandon its historic right in the waters of the Nile. Megan Munir, AUCTV, Cairo.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second part of AUC Observer. In this week's interview, we have Frida Mosaid, who plays for the AUC team as well as is the captain of the Egyptian national team. She recently won third place in the 49th National University Tournament. How are you doing today, Frida?
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Why are you so passionate about sports, especially basketball?
I've been playing basketball since I was like 4 years old, and I'm very passionate about the game because when I play the game, I feel like I forget about everything else around me. And being part of the AUC basketball team was really special, especially since I got in AUC the first year there was COVID-19. So there was no teams, so I didn't get to participate on any team. And then when the next year as a sophomore, I participated in the AUC basketball women's team, and it was a very exciting moment.
That's amazing. How do you balance between studies and school?
Actually, the AUC plays a very big role in this part, as it really helps a lot with this. So, for example, I get to pick up my own schedule and see which time suits me best. So when I have time for training and when I have to do my studies. And the professors at AUC are very understanding. So, for example, if I have a match or a training, I could tell them and they could, for example, give me a makeup or an extra class or help me out with the TA. So they're very understanding and helpful when it comes to my athletic career or part.
How extensively do you train to reach the level that you're at?
So I train at the Egyptian national team, and I train in the shooting club, and I train at the AUC basketball team. So the AUC basketball team, we usually train 2 to 3 times per week. And when it comes to my club, I train every day. And with the Egyptian national team, I only train when there's like a big tournament coming up and we have camps and so on.
Since Ramadan is coming up, does your training schedule change or revolve around the month of fasting at all?
Yeah, it does change a lot drastically. So, for example, if I'm in the normal days right now, I could train at 8:30 a.m. or 9:30 and so on. But in Ramadan, I can't really do that because I'm fasting. So what usually happens is I train from 4:30 to 6 and then go break my fast. And then I could also train in the afternoon. But it's really exhausting training while fasting. It's not easy.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
How many tournaments do you partake in during the year?
So during the year, we have with the AUC like 3 tournaments. The first one is the 49th Universities tournament, and which already occurred. And the second one is the private Universities tournament. And we are planning to travel to an African championship with the university in Kenya in around May. And when it comes to the club, we usually have 4 championships. And the Egyptian national team, I've played in the African Championship and I've played in the World Cup.
That's amazing. Is there any changes you would like to see AUC implement to make you playing sports more enjoyable?
I think we could have like more friendly games, and we could go on more camps, because before the 49th Universities tournament, we haven't played any friendly games because the other universities didn't want to play against us. I'm not sure why, but it has affected our performance on the first tournament. So I think if they would offer some friendly tournaments with other countries or other universities, that would be great.
When it comes to university or the national team, anything in terms of basketball?
Okay. So I finished the under 16 and the under 18 Egyptian national team. So I think it would be a great challenge to go on to the women's Egyptian national team as part of the first team. And when it comes to the university, the African Championship, it's the first time for me to travel with the university in an African Championship. So I think that would be a really big challenge. And I think we should work more on practicing together as a team and adding like gym workouts and fitness workouts to our plan.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the medal that you recently won?
Yeah, so it's the bronze medal I won at the 49th Universities tournament. And so we took 5th place. The final game was against GUC. It was a very hard game. It started off 14-0 for GUC, but we were able to get back and win with our spirit and our teamwork. And the first place was earned by Cairo University, and the second place was earned by Pharaoh's University in Alexandria. We played the 2 teams and it was very competitive, but I think we lost due to less experience than they got, and I think they also had more practice hours than we did. So I think that was why we got 3rd place and not one of the 2nd or 1st place.
Thank you again so much for coming on the show, Frida, and congratulations again on winning your medal. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to AUC Observer.